Hey folks, hope you're all doing well, and welcome to episode 5 of Recommend an Album to Review. So for this episode, we're going to look at a band and a record that came out back in 1977. It's a British band. They got kind of lumped into the punk thing because of the year and, coming from England and being young guys. But honestly, I don't consider them part of the punk thing. I'm talking about a band called The Jam, of course, with the very well-known Mr. Paul Weller, who I know is a huge British, a hero, musical hero. So yeah, these are young guys. I would say maybe, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, very young guys. They played with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. And that's kind of why they got lumped into the punk thing. Why I don't agree with that assessment is they could play their instruments, and they were really, they were good musicians, and the songwriting, Paul Weller, even at that age, was cranking out some really, really nice songs. I mean, he's hitting that guitar really aggressively, but he's playing some really nice progressions, and he's got some beautiful melodies sitting on top of that. So, to me, because of the energy and the intensity that they play and the really cool songwriting, if anything, they remind me a lot more of, the Who, early Who, like Can't Explain, Substitute, that period, right? They're almost like, to me, a 1977 mod band, even the way they dress and stuff. So that's kind of more the vibe I get from them. And then of course Oasis kind of did a similar thing, 20 years later, whatever it was. Not 20 years later, 15 years later. Anyways, but yeah, so let's talk about this record. And the record, if I haven't mentioned, the record is called In the City. So here we go. Now, I'm not going to go track by track because there's 12 songs on this, and a lot of them are like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm just gonna like single out different songs that I really dug, and just kind of talk about the highlights. So here we go. Track number 2 on this, I've Changed My Address. That is one of the longer songs at 3 minutes 32 seconds. That's got kind of like almost a 50s type of progression, like an O'Donna type of progression. But again, played with some heavy aggressive guitar, and and the lyrics are a little forceful, that heavy attitude type of thing. But a real catchy song, man. Real catchy song. Got some nice changes to it. Not a straight up punk tune. Okay, these guys are not a punk band. All right, so let me talk about the next one here. All right, this is probably my favorite song on this record. Away from the numbers. This is at 4 minutes. I think this is the longest track on here. I think. Yeah, it is. Man, there's a lot of Who in this. The chord progressions. Even some of the drums kind of remind me of Keith Moon. Really good song. I mean, a little more played out than the others, not quite as immediate, but it's the, I guess, their closest thing to sort of a long form kind of epic type song, and it's really good, man. It's hooky. It's got some nice changes to it. Dan, these guys have their shit together. All right, the next one I want to talk about is, all right, I want to talk about In the City. That's got hit written all over it. It's catchy. It's immediate. It's got that great riff right at the beginning that kind of hooks you. Title cut of the record. Yeah, catchy as hell. In the City's a great track. Hey, then you got Nonstop Dancing with almost a Mick Jagger type vocal delivery on that one. Again, a catchy tune. I mean, that song, and even Sounds from the Street, man, I hear some old kind of Motown R&B stuff in there, but played with like, very sparse guitar bass and drums with just very heavy, aggressive, hammering on the guitar. Not a lot of subtlety there, but again, you can hear all those influence coming into this, young group of young three-piece band here. Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and the last track on here I did quite a bit too. Bricks and Mortar. A little different than the other songs. Not really, not super up fast and more kind of a laid back, kind of more of a thinking type song. I guess I know best way to describe it. But that's why I like it. I like the tempo change, and I like the chords and the melody over that one. That's another great song. Should mention Paul Weller. You can see why this guy's been around for a long time. I mean, this was like I believe, his first album ever. I think it's the Jam's first record. And I think his first band was the Jam, and you can kind of see where, like, this guy had a lot of ideas. He had a lot of influences. He had that, and the band is such a tight little unit. You've got, like, I mean, I can hear the Who in there. And some Motown, some old R&B stuff. Some kind of 50s pop stuff in there. A lot of his influences, but all stripped down to three guys with a guitar, bass, and drums, and Paul's right in there, writing these great songs, great lyrics, and beautiful melodies all the way throughout. So, if you're a fan of sort of that early '70s, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't call these guys a punk band. Maybe really early new wave. If you like really Elvis Costello when he first started out, the Allison, pump it up kind of period, like really early Elvis Costello, you might dig this. What other bands? Maybe early Joe Jackson, sounds like I'm the Man. They all kind of have that sort of that British kind of, post-punk kind of energy, right? They have the energy of the punk, but just, with more fleshed out songs with generally, better playing on them. It really is what post punk is to me, anyway. It's, the guys in punk learn how to play better, and it kept going, or new people came in, or whatever. Leave your comments below. But anyways, yeah, good record. The Jam in the City. It's good record. It's been old record, 1977. But if you haven't checked out the Jam, check them out. If you have a suggestion for another album for me to review, please throw that in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for all of the submissions that I've been getting. It's nice to kind of go through a few records and pick and choose, something to review. Again, criteria, nothing that I've done already previously on the channel, no bands that I've already covered on the channel, and let's keep it to one album, so I can listen to it a few times during the week, and then do a show. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.